Anyway, back to biblical. Let's talk about the Bible, y'all. Can we talk about the word of God for a minute? Because a lot of y'all are in tune with the word of God. Because I got a mature crowd that watch me, but I also got a lot of youthful crowd watching me. And for those of y'all that don't know, I am a pastor daughter. I'm a PK kid. I be tearing this internet up, but I am a pastor's daughter. So at the end of the day, we finna chop it up and get it down. We gonna get into it. My thing is this. Before she go to the internet and say God favors her, she need to work on herself. And she need to work on her situation. And if you are a boss, you need to act like a boss and tell this man to step his game up and get a divorce. Hey, Frida, you need to tell this man to step his game up and get a divorce. Or come from downstairs. Come from upstairs and come downstairs. And go completely out your door. But my thing is, you're not going to tell him that because your MO is messing with men that belong to other people. You got a history of messing with men that don't belong to you. You got a history of that. I had this one girl come to me and she was like, you always talking about that girl. It seems stalkerish. It seems, how do you know I'm always talking about her if you not stalking me? Let me get a drink. Let me sip on this Welch's. How would you know if I'm always talking about her if you ain't always tuned in? See, people don't know when they say things. They should think about what they say before they say it, because I'm going to catch it every time. You hear me? You can't use projection on me because you team.
Geisha says the timeline everybody's been repeating is wrong. She claims interviews actually placed the first meeting in 2020, not 2024, which means this wasn't 2 years in the making, it was 6. Hey there, it's Novasphere, and hello everyone. Sending you good vibes, positivity, good energy today. Thank you so much for pulling up. Quick disclaimer, this is commentary and reaction based on claims made publicly on a live stream, opinion and entertainment purposes only. Let's break this whole thing down. Now listen, Geisha opens with an analogy that's genuinely one of the sharpest lines in the whole video. She says if you broke a relationship down like an airplane, the wife is the body, but a side situation is just the wing. Necessary maybe, but replaceable, and definitely not what's steering the plane. Now that's not a subtle point at all, and she knows it. Sometimes the harshest comparisons land the hardest precisely because they're so easy to picture.
But it is her conscience is messing with her. Her conscience is messing with her when she got to go online and she got to hear a multitude of people. So she's trying to spin a narrative by saying that people are haters. First of all, did you see the t-shirt she had on? She had on a black t-shirt saying something about for you hating ass bitches that be hating because y'all not happy. Y'all not happy, so y'all be hating. I mean, if that's going to help you with your trauma, to put that on a t-shirt when the facts still remain that you still messing with this married man that refused to get a divorce, that looks like he has no intentions on getting a divorce, that has you playing the role as a side chick, a cup of coleslaw, a wing lady, like you on the wing. Like if you was a piece of the airplane, if you were the piece or a part of an airplane, you would be one of the wings. You would be one of the wings, girl.
But here's the reveal that really changes the whole conversation. Geisha claims that when you actually go back and listen to the interviews carefully, the story places their first meeting all the way back in 2020, not 2024 like most people assume. Now listen, if that timeline holds up, that's not a 2-year connection playing out publicly. That's 6 years of history sitting quietly behind the scenes before anybody on the outside ever knew a thing about it. That's the kind of detail that reframes an entire narrative once it's actually pointed out.
Anyway, back to biblical. Let's talk about the Bible, y'all. Can we talk about the word of God for a minute? Because a lot of y'all are in tune with the word of God. Because I got a mature crowd that watch me, but I also got a lot of youthful crowd watching me. And for those of y'all that don't know, I am a pastor daughter. I'm a PK kid. I be tearing this internet up, but I am a pastor's daughter. So at the end of the day, we finna chop it up and get it down. We gonna get into it. My thing is this. Before she go to the internet and say God favors her, she need to work on herself. And she need to work on her situation. And if you are a boss, you need to act like a boss and tell this man to step his game up and get a divorce. Hey, Frida, you need to tell this man to step his game up and get a divorce. Or come from downstairs. Come from upstairs and come downstairs. And go completely out your door. But my thing is, you not gonna tell him that because your MO is messing with men that belong to other people. You got a history of messing with men that don't belong to you. You got a history of that. I had this one girl come to me and she was like, you always talking about that girl. It seems stalkerish. It seems, how do you know I'm always talking about her if you not stalking me? Let me get a drink. Let me sip on this Welch's. How would you know if I'm always talking about her if you ain't always tuned in? See, people don't know when they say things. They should think about what they say before they say it, because I'm going to catch it every time. You hear me? You can't use projection on me because you team somebody and you want me to stop talking about them. How about you untune into me and you won't have to hear me talk about her, because I'm going to talk about her. I'm going to talk about her every day, all day. When I feel like it, every time she come to the internet and do some buffoonery, I'ma shed light on it, like playing that gospel song while sleeping and letting this man fornicate her in her house upstairs while he's still married. Girl, do you know you got in the DM of a married man? And you don't see nothing wrong with that? You literally went on an interview and said, I got into his DM and invited him to my boxing. You didn't say I invited him and his wife. Because you was not trying to include the wife. Because you found yourself attracted to a married man. And then they keep saying, oh, 2024, that's when Claressa said, I watched the Bud interview. And this girl that called herself a host for Baller Alert or whatever it is that Bud did the interview with, and she was like, yeah, I think that October 2024 is when they said, no, bitch, do you watch Sherry Shepherd? Do you watch motherfucking Tamron Hall? The bitch said 2020, the fight that they were talking about, that they first laid eyes on each other, was at a 2020 fight. Look it up. Go back to the Tamron Hall and listen to the fight that they said they attended. That was in 2020. And then she said she inboxed him and they was DM each other for a week and she knew she liked him. That's 6 years, y'all. That's 6 years Claressa Shields has been behind the scenes with Papoose. DM him and talking to him. So all these people that be trying to do these...
Now this next part shifts into a career critique, and it's sharper than a typical roast. Geisha argues that fights keep landing in the same hometown venues over and over, and that promotion work that should be handled by a team is instead being done personally, radio station by radio station. She also brings up the gambling angle again, tying financial strain directly to decision-making happening behind the scenes. Her point stays consistent throughout. Something about the business side just isn't adding up the way it's being presented publicly.
Listen, this thing right here that gets on the internet and just tries to coach people into believing what she wants them to believe about her and say what she wants them to say about her. We can't do that. Like, you do everything but get in the boxing ring. You do everything except box. Everything except box. And then when you do have a boxing match, it always is in Detroit or Flint. The majority of your fights have been in Detroit, Michigan. But you done fought a couple of times or several times in Flint too. But one time in New York, one time in Miami, one time, all these places, one time. But you done fought a multitude of times in your hometown. Listen, she probably trying to flip some money if she gambling. She probably trying to be out there gambling with the bad influencer. Papoose has a gambling issue. And that was already given to us by Remy when Remy told us, you know, he did more spending than building. She couldn't build with Papoose because he was using all his money always gambling. And we all know gambling has a definition. It's a gamble whether you're going to win or lose. And 9 out of 10, if you ain't really good at it, you ain't going to win. So my thing is, you know you are going on E with these millions and you don't got no fights lined up and you ain't got no TV shows coming up that's going to cut you a check. You trying to flip that money that you got in the casinos. And you keep tripping like that, you might be on E because we don't even see you getting dolled up like you used to. You ain't getting dressed up. You ain't in Louis Vuitton coming out with the big bags no more. You ain't popping tags. You ain't been popping tags lately. Cause you know why? You was doing too much for the Joneses to prove a point that you so unbothered and so rich. You was trying to prove to everybody that you was so unbothered and so rich. And you spending all this money on you and Papoose. But talking about Papoose pays this, I ain't paid for a flight. Where do Papoose work? Papoose is like Tommy off of Martin. He ain't got no job. What the hell do Papoose do besides go to the casino and gamble? And try to win? Gamble successful women money to make money. He ain't gambling his money. He taking your stuff and flipping your stuff for him because Win Records ain't doing nothing for him. TuneCore ain't doing nothing for him. You can't do nothing for him lately.
Here's where Geisha pivots into something that actually sounds like real advice underneath all the criticism. She lays out a whole missed opportunity, multiple boxing gyms that could have been built by now, one in Miami, one in Atlanta, one back home in Michigan, each one capitalizing on a name people already recognize. Now listen, gyms are one of the most reliable ways to turn a personal brand into consistent income. And her argument here isn't really about hate at all. It's about watching an opportunity sit there completely untouched.
Could have had maybe 3 boxing gyms already. She could have had one in Miami, she could have had one in Atlanta, and she could have put one in Michigan. Gyms are popular right now. Workout gyms are the best thing to capitalize because everybody goes to the gym to work out. Everybody's paying a monthly fee to go to the gym. So for you to not invest in something that's wrapped around in your name that will bring people from other states flying in to come to your gym just because it's the Claressa Shields gym, who is your PR team? Who is the people that's behind you that's not giving you the perks that you need? Who are the people that are your cheerleaders rooting this buffoonery that you get online and promote every time you go live? Girl, don't you know that money that you had, you could have got a gym, you could have been standing in front of your gym talking shit, saying, y'all come down here and get this workout at the Claressa Shields gym. You could have been making debuts down there, meet and greets. It's all type of ways to capitalize by getting a gym and you a professional boxer. But you don't know no better. You don't know no better, baby.
And here's the closer that ties the entire video together, the part built around repetition on purpose. Geisha lands on what she frames as the core argument of the whole night. That favor, in her interpretation, belongs to the husband who finds a wife, not to whoever else is standing outside that marriage. She repeats the line, "The side chick don't get the favor," more than once, deliberately, making sure it sticks with anyone still listening by the end. So here's where this whole breakdown lands. Between the timeline reveal, the career critique, and that closing argument about favor, Geisha built a case that mixes relationship commentary with real business analysis. Whether every claim checks out is up to the audience to decide, but the through line she's drawing stays consistent from the first minute to the last.
And for her to insert herself into a marriage lane, God does not find favor in that. Because God says a man that finds him a wife has found favor in the Lord. So when Claressa Shields stand on her platform and she keeps saying, God found favor in me. No! God found favor in a husband for finding him a wife. He didn't find a wife in you, Claressa. He found the side chick in you. He found the come up in you. He found the friend with benefits in you. The favor is for the husband for finding Remy Ma, for finding reminisce. That's where the favor come in at. She using favor for herself. The side chick doesn't get the favor. The side chick don't get the favor. The side chick don't get the favor.
Alright you guys, that is it for this video. Geisha laid out timelines, business critiques, and a whole lot of pointed conviction, and she made it clear she's not backing down from a single part of it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, drop a comment letting me know your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss the next update. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. I'll talk to you guys again very soon.